Hi, this week we're going to be modelling a tentacle that we can later on rig. Right, starting off, we're going to start with a circle with 16 sides. And I'm going to extrude this up 2 meters. You can use snapping if you want to make this a little easier on yourself. We will be turning it on later anyway. Now we're going to scale in this top ring to 0.95. Remember that number for later. And we're going to add an edge loop to the middle. And another one, 3 units from the top. And one more, 3 units from the bottom. Now add another circle, setting its sides to 8 and its radius to 0.75. We can then rotate this 90 degrees on the X and 45 degrees on the Z. For me it's on the Y because my gimbal is in local mode. And now we can move the circle, snapping it to this point out here. We are going to want some space between our two circles, so let's add that. And then inside the first circle, we're going to double tap G and edge slide these vertexes here to make them more circular. And then delete these 4 center faces. Now we can get rid of half this mesh. And I'm feeling this circle's a little bit too big, so I'm going to scale it down. We can merge the 2 meshes together, and then we can bridge this gap as well. Because I've merged the first circle to the second one, the rotations have remained. So now I can just extrude this circle out here. So now I can just extrude this edge out here to make a sucker. Now we can mirror this mesh. It looks like nothing's happened because we're going to need to reset our origin to our 3D cursor and also apply our rotations with Control A, and then our mirror should work fine. Now we can add a subdivision and we can edge crease some of these sections here. You don't need to set the edge crease to 100%, you can set it to 0.5 if you want a smaller fall off. Now we can add an array setting the Z to 1 and the rest to 0. We now have this gap. To fix it, we're going to add an empty. Setting its radius here will make it smaller, but it will have no effect on the changes we actually need to make. Now in the array, we're going to add an object offset and we're going to set this to the empty. And then we can reduce our empty scale down to 0.95. Now add a new circle, extrude it up, and fill in the top face. We can then bevel this edge. This is going to be used to make the tip of our tentacle. You can make it look like whatever you want, you just need the base to have 16 sides and a 1 meter radius. Now in our tentacle, under caps, we can add our end cap to the tip we just made. I'm going to add some more details to my tentacle with this small bulge here. We can now add a curve and pose it. Before adding a curve modifier to our tentacle and setting the deform axes to the Z plane. Now I'm going to help break up the symmetry a bit by applying my mirror modifier and moving one of the suckers up and the other one down. But with that, we're done, and next week we can rig this. But for now, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next week for some rigging.